It's going to take a massive effort for anyone now to beat Jack Nicklaus's record of 18 majors. I think Tiger's race is done. Too many good young players. Nicklaus targeted the majors, sometimes passing on lucrative lesser tournaments.
He was there to win. His whole focus were majors. These 4 tournaments are my 4. I got to get them.
The fact that he figured out that you couldn't play more than 18 tournaments and give your absolute best, and he was the first one to focus on all the majors.
Jack Nicklaus sounded the trumpet early to signal the changing of the guard. His 269 at Merion made such an impression on the Australian team manager, Dr. William Ackland Horman, that he predicted, while Nicklaus was still an amateur, he would become the best golfer ever. Ben Hogan agreed somewhat obliquely in that year's US Open, when he said he had played with a kid who would have won by 10 shots if he had known what he was doing. Hello, I'm Barry, the Grey Golfiatric. Welcome to my video on Jack Nicklaus. I remember reading about Nicklaus after he scored 269 in the 1960 World Amateur at Merion Golf Club. The use of statistics was rudimentary at that time. Be that as it may, the comment was in a small publication which went out of print many years ago. The article stated Nicklaus was home in 75% of the par 5s that he played. The highest club he was playing for his second shot on par 4s was a 6-iron. This gave him an enormous advantage over players of average length. Nicklaus did deviate from a textbook swing with his flying right elbow. However, he did extend his swing arc by doing so and preceded the likes of John Daly.
And we'll hit a driver.
Jack gets up and belts his. So we're walking down the right side of the fairway. When we get to the balls, Jack is 25 yards ahead of Arnold. You could just see Arnold sink. He said, oh my God, I hit my best tee shot, and Nicklaus is 25 yards ahead of me. I think Jack beat him right there on the first drive.
Yeah, show me how to do it.
For all his power, Nicklaus was also a better putter than most.
I think you said it.
Nicklaus putted with a very hunched over stance. It worked for him. This is the final putt when he won the 1959 US Amateur against Charlie Coe.
Nicklaus's advantage off the tee was undeniable, but in truth, it was his work on Oakmon's brutally unforgiving greens that proved to be the biggest difference. With his new George Lowe Wizard 600 putter in hand, he 3-putted just 1 time over his 5 rounds, compared to 11 times for Palmer.
For a guy to go through the tournament with 1 3-putt at Oakmont, it's in 90 holes, that's one of the unbelievable facts in golf.
Nicklaus was an innovator. He was the first to measure and pace out yardages, now standard practice for any professional on the tour. Personally, I'd like to see yardage books and pacing out distances banned. 100, 150 and 200 markers should be enough. It would speed up play and bring back judgment as an element in the game. Nicklaus was always willing to learn. He took lessons from Phil Rogers on wedge play and credited him with helping Nicklaus win his 4th US Open.
Once Nicklaus and Grout had figured out his swing in late 1979, the golfer went to work on the part of his game that had long been considered his lone weakness.
His short game was not of the same standard as his ball striking or his putting. I think he recognized that as he got a little bit older and decided he was going to do something about it.
They talk about Tiger having chipping hips. Jack will tell you at one point he was putting around bunkers.
Oh, 79, that was awful. I putted around a lot of bunkers when I had a tight lie that I just said, I cannot play this shot.
And that's when he went to Phil Rogers and changed his entire approach.
Tour veteran Phil Rogers and Nicklaus had bunked together in the Crow's Nest back at the 1959 Masters as amateurs and remained close friends ever since.
I said, Phil, I need some help. And so we start working on his figure eight, which is what he did. It allowed me to use the soul of the club rather than the leading edge of the club. It just totally just changed my whole game.
The 15th hole at Victoria Golf Club is one of the classic short par fours of the Melbourne Sandbelt, full of risk and reward. When I saw Nicklaus play it, he was chasing Kobe LaGrange in the 1964 Wills Masters. He needed birdies. He took a 3-wood on the tee, and I thought he was laying up short. I have never seen a ball fly so high off the club face. The ball landed just before the front of the green and ran through to the back edge of the green as shown. From there, he two-putted for a birdie. What made Nicklaus special in my eyes was his ability to get the ball soaring off the tee in a high arc. I don't think I've ever seen any other player able to do it, except perhaps John Daly.
Straight up in the air.
Oh, my word!
My next video will be about Lee Trevino. Until then, good golfing.